Salsa Legends and Masters Academy. I'm here with the legendary King of Boogaloo, Joe Bataan. We're in Paris, and he was kind enough to take a moment with me. He's going to let me play a solo or two tonight with the group. Thank you, Joe.
Hey, my pleasure. Anytime. You're the best.
No, but thank you. So, you just got in yesterday, and you're playing at the place that I can't pronounce the name of it.
Wait a minute. What's the name of the place again? Es Etoile. Oh, Es Etoile. Okay, Teatro Es Etoile. In Paris, right? Yeah.
And Joe just had dinner with a restaurant with some of the guys in the band, and it's a lively spot. It's a great neighborhood.
Like the old village.
It's like the old village, sure is. Hey Joe, tomorrow you're doing another gig in the southern part of France, right?
Yeah, we're going to the jazz festival in Vienna, and of course a lot of the stars and jazz musicians attend that festival.
What else do you have coming up down the road?
Well, we got the movie coming out, which is big. You know, it's a story about the Boogaloo and Latin soul, what happened during that era with the music, why it was curtailed for a while, and why it has a resurgence now around the world. So we're looking forward to that in August 5th at Walter Reed Theater in New York, Lincoln Center.
That's excellent. That's awesome. You know, some people don't consider Boogaloo to be part of what we call salsa, but I think it's an important part. You know, it's something that developed in New York. You're a major part of it, and congratulations on that. You go down in history. And I haven't done a page on you yet on my site, but I plan to.
All right, great. That'll be nice. Actually, we've gotten calls from all over the world recently. With this resurgence, and people are asking for the movie. It's going to be shown in Barcelona. Besides Lincoln Center, it's going to be shown in September in New York at the Urban Festival. And then it's going to California for Avalante, the Mexican festival. And they just called us to go to Bogota, so I'll be going to Bogota on July 31st. And they're going to be doing the festival there.
If you like the way I played tonight, keep me in mind.
All the time, you kidding? You're one of those high-end guys, so we want to make sure that we could afford you.
That's not the case. I just retired from my day job.
I heard. I didn't realize. You're in my same class of work because I worked for the city for 25 years. And then I said, "Wow, Pete had a job all that time." And what people don't know, that's the best kept secret for musicians. You know, too often we got to go to benefits because of what happened in the past, and people weren't knowledgeable about the music and protecting themselves. So we have all these great artists with all this great music just laying there, and somebody's capitalizing on it, and they did nothing for the musician back then.
Not only that, it's a good sense of security. Getting a pension. You're getting a pension?
Yeah.
And health insurance?
I took care of my family for 25 years.
Beautiful thing.
Saved my life. It's nothing like
Thank
it.
God for that, So it's kind of a shame that we've had to do that, but at the same time, I think it was wise of us to do it, because if we hadn't,
we'd be having a benefit right now.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say to the younger generation who might be thinking about doing this kind of music? Any suggestions, recommendations for them?
I just finished telling the people in Paris, nothing was ever given to Joe Bataan. I had to go out and get it. So what I recommend to people is that if you have a passion for music and it's something that you want to do, you got to be very aggressive. Don't get into it if you're going to go halfway, or if you don't have the aspiration to go out and study and pay the dues. Because otherwise it's a very lucrative field, and there's not that many opportunities as there was in the past. So now you really got to take hold of your craft and go out there and pursue it and never give up.
One more question. Who were some of the people that influenced you when you were coming up? And, how did you like decide to do what you did? Because nobody else was doing it back then.
Well, you know, I started singing doo-wop in the streets, you know, and of course, you know, my father's Afro-Filipino, my mother's African-American, but el corazón mío Latino, because I grew up in El Barrio, so I had to learn Spanish. All my friends, my wife is Puerto Rican, and hearing that music in the streets back then is what we cherish. I mean, to listen to hear Randy Carlos and Puente playing back in the days, and then on the other side, hearing the R&B records by the Heartbeats, the Moonglows, and the Flamingos, it was perfect when guys like Hector Rivera came along, Ray Barretto when he did Watusi, and the great Willie Torres. He doesn't get enough credit. He was very inspirational in me getting into my craft, because I knew nothing even about clave until I had to really teach myself, and then I found out how difficult it is if you don't grow up in that environment, in that music. You know, it takes a special musician to be able to play both genres, you know, and you got to feel it, because you can say, well, I play typical salsa, and you might not be playing, you know. So it took me by trial and error getting musicians together with me, because I'm a self-taught musician. I learned by trial and error. I didn't learn theory until later on, you know, because I was very successful after 6 months in getting the youngest band in Latin music. A lot of the kids were 11 and 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah. And I took over the band, and I had to go by trial and error without knowing what a C major chord was. And then when I found out this magic that was in the piano and the harmonics and the theory behind it, I just started to grow. And that's what I mean about passion. Nothing was going to stop me from attaining what I wanted to do. And I got to say, and I'm not being boastful, I'm very proud today that I can say that was my goal and I achieved it. You know, not too many of us can say that. So I'm a sentimentalist with my songs that I write and everything. So this has endeared me to my public. I enjoy to this day what I do. And it's so gratifying to even be in the same field after 50 years.
Yeah, great. You know, it's nice to be able to play. It's nice to be able to play by ear, but to actually understand what it is you're playing, to understand the theory behind it, takes you to another level. And,
exactly.
And it can also increase your creativity, because you have more of an understanding of the music theory.
True.
Joe, I know you got to go. We're going to be on a little while. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate
My pleasure.
it.
Anytime, Pete. I want to say you're doing a great thing with your website.
Thank you.
And I hope it grows by leaps and bounds, because everybody's talking about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay.